I'm live. Let me light this joint. Happy Friday night, everyone. Happy Friday night. I want to welcome you to the 710 Daily Sesh. I'm your Friday night host, JanineTheCannabisFairy, and I'm going to talk to you tonight. So, what happened this week? Well, Germany said they're going to legalize cannabis, which is pretty interesting. So I got phone calls. In fact, I have a phone call set up for tomorrow. One of Jeremiah's friends, Jacob, wants to talk to me. And he contacted me like literally the minute they said there's going to be legal cannabis. And he was like, I want to talk to you on the weekend. And I was like, I'm free now. You want to talk now? He was like, no. I got to go to work. I want to talk to you on the weekend. I'm like, okay, we'll talk on the weekend. So then Jeremiah called me, and he was so excited. Oh my God, they're going to legalize cannabis. And so we had a nice big discussion. So Jeremiah's a chef. And so I was saying to him, like, do you want to stay a chef in this new world if cannabis is legalized in Germany? And he's like, no, God, no. I want to own a dispensary. So we were talking with Uncle Tony about, like, well, maybe he should be thinking about opening a paraphernalia shop and, get in on the ground floor. Printed off some articles from the web and stuff about what's going on. So, the way government works in Germany is not like here. Okay, so you don't vote and somebody wins. You vote and nobody ever gets enough to win, and you have to make coalitions for the government. So the new government is going to be made up of Social Democrats and Greens and Free Democrats. And so they say they want the controlled supply of cannabis, but only in licensed shops. And so they're saying, this article is saying something is signed, and that it marks a significant change in the country where it's only been allowed medically so far. So the FDP, the Free Democrats, touted that the benefits that legalization could bring to Germany include extra revenue for the government. Okay, so in reality, these governments are treating us like tobacco smokers. Oh, we can make money off the cannabis smokers. That's not good, but, baby steps. And the Greens have pushed a goal to drain the black market for cannabis and reduce organized crime. So, as we can clearly tell the German government, legalization does not change the gray market. The gray market still exists when you have legalization. So, they are, the gray market is going to still exist in Germany. I know. They're just like, well, how are they going to plan for this new future? So it's very, very interesting. So the Social Democrats have been more cautious, however, calling for projects that would regulate distribution to adults which would allow the government to assess the impact of legalization. So according to a study by the University of Dusseldorf, legalizing cannabis could bring Germany more than 4.7 billion euros. Okay, that's a lot of fucking money. German police unions, however, have opposed the legalization, the legislation. The coalition plan will include reevaluating the law after 4 years and the expansion of harm reduction measures. Alongside this, the government will tighten regulations for marketing and sponsorships related to cannabis, alcohol, and nicotine. So then another article said the legislation is expected to be introduced during the upcoming legislative session. It will also provide broader drug harm reduction services and restrict advertising of alcohol and tobacco, along with cannabis. As it stands, personal possession of marijuana is decriminalized in Germany. And there is a medical cannabis program in place. But this forthcoming proposal would seek to establish a regulated market for adult use cannabis. So they were saying that they want to introduce controlled distribution in licensed shops. And so the so-called Traffic Light Coalition is making the case that regulating marijuana sales will help drive out the illicit market. That will be revisited 4 years post-implementation when a review of the social impact of the reform will be required. So they're saying, and it's an election manifesto, so the FDP said that taxing cannabis like cigarettes could generate $1 billion annually. So we measure regulations again and again against new scientific findings and align measures for health protection, report cites. Health protection. Good Lord. We all need more cannabis, not less. So, in neighboring Luxembourg, the Ministers of Justice and Homeland Security last month unveiled a legislation proposal which will still require a vote in the parliament, but is expected to pass. For now, the country is focusing on legalization within a home setting. Parliament is expected to vote on the proposal in early 2022. And the ruling parties are friendly to the reform. So my friend Benjamin was saying that in Luxembourg, the only place that you're going to be able to smoke cannabis is like in your house, which is, crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So there's lots of work to be done. Now, I will say that there was a satire article with these, articles on the internet. And so it's amusing. So, where does it start? Okay. Where is it? So, okay. At the urging of public health professionals and harm reduction advocates during the 2021 session. Oh, hang on. How I have Maryland here. How did that happen? Oh, here we go. What the hell? Okay, I don't know. It was really funny. It was basically talking about the fact that with COVID, the German government has figured out that the only way that people can be relaxed with all these rules and regulations is if they're smoking cannabis. It's funny. Where the hell did it go? Now I want to find it. Well, this article also says that 2017 was when Germany started talking about legalizing cannabis. And that was interesting because it was actually the Christian Democratic Union and its ally, the Christian Social Union, which entered into talks with the Free Democrats and Greens about advancing the legislation. That was 4 years ago. Well, that's interesting. So, but of course, the police are not happy. It also, one of the articles went on to say that there's 2 countries in Europe with cannabis legalized, but that's not true. It's only Luxembourg where cannabis is going to be legal for adults. They mentioned the Netherlands as it being legal in the Netherlands, but it's not legal in the Netherlands. It's tolerated in the Netherlands. Personal possession is okay. And, trafficking is not. and actually, the Netherlands is having huge problems now because now they're trying to set up a system where they're going to have farmers to produce cannabis for certain shops. Now, these shops apparently have to basically sign something saying that they're only going to use this cannabis from the test and they're not going to use the backdoor cannabis. So now the problem becomes what happens if you have a problem with your supply in this market that they're testing? Okay, so generally you would just, they would just go to their other sources and they would keep cannabis in their shops. So it's going to be very, very, very interesting. The other thing I was told is that, the Netherlands is so small that they can't possibly grow all that they need. Maybe they could, grow for the country's supply, but there's no way they can grow enough for the tourist trade. Okay? That they just don't have enough room. So basically, I've been told that the border near the Netherlands and Germany is just full of cannabis. That it is being grown all over. These governments are going to have to change. If Germany actually legalizes, then, you're looking at 80 million people. So, that's a huge number of people. And with the open borders that they have, how are they going to be able to control anything after that? So it's going to be very, very, very interesting to see how this plays out. I want to go to Europe. It's not good for traveling there right now, so we're not going to travel there right now. We're going to travel to Mexico right now. So I go to Mexico in 17 days. I'm very excited about that. My friend Amy is finishing up the job that she was doing in Florida, and we were talking the other night. So I'm going to start my trip. I'm going to stay with her for 10 days at the beginning, and so I'll be able to figure out the town and the area, and I'm going to get some dental work done. Want to go see a physiotherapia. To go see a physiotherapia while I'm down there. And we're going to get massages, and we're going to get facials, and we're going to hopefully feel nice. Hopefully. Oh, yes, you know me, Miss 710. If you've got a job, I hope you dabbed. I got my nice joints. I was at the Toronto Hemp Company today. Oh, maybe I should. Where's the bag? Where's the bag? I thought I should bring Amy down some tips. And I got a whole bunch of papers. More papers. You kids know these are my favorite papers. Corn. España. Though when you're in España, you can't find them. I have yet to find these anywhere in Spain. I know of one shop in Amsterdam where I can buy them. The oldest paraphernalia shop in Amsterdam, I can buy them. I bought myself some. I thought maybe I, need a new one of these for the truck. Put one of those. And more papers. Oh, I got some for Uncle Tony. Little ones to make these ones here. To make little pinners for him. And I got maybe some more papers, some more pink ones. I doubt they have the pink ones in Mexico. So I thought I'd bring her some of those. And of course they were having a Black Friday Schwartz Freitag sale. So that was good. Helped a little. So I'm set for papers for a little while. Of course, the other thing was Lyft happened on the weekend. Lyft was in downtown Toronto. I will say, oh yes, why did that come up in front of my face? I will say that, I was very happy to see lots of people that I knew. Hugs from Remo and Sandra, and Mel came in for the weekend, and there were tons of good people. Mary Jane Fraker was there in her little unicorn outfit. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. And I'm sorry to tell you kids, or I'm happy to tell you kids, if you didn't make it down, you didn't miss a thing. It was the most boring convention I swear I've ever been to. It was lighting. It was packaging, and it was marketing. There was very little swag, which in some ways was good. I didn't carry home, a bunch of stuff. It was like big business, boring. I mean, even the money conference at the International Center was more happening than this left. I mean, it's maybe there's a lot of companies that didn't want to come from BC or all over the country. So it was it's a little sad, but it was a little bit of normalcy, so that's good. And half of my brain is happy that it looked like that, because it's an industry. That makes it a real industry. We knew it could be an industry. We knew there was lots of money in this industry, but it's only when they thought that they could make all this money off of us that they were willing to say, okay, let's legalize it. And of course, we're going to have to really start going back. Oh, it's 7:20, which means it's 4:20. And right now, I believe it's 6:20 in Merida. So Cancun is the same time as us, but Merida is not. It's an hour off. I believe it's an hour other way because Germany and those guys, it's middle of the night. So that means Mexico's 1 hour that way. So, which is nice. So, not too crazy the time change. Shouldn't be too hard on the poor old bod. And, it'll be nice and interesting to go to somewhere that, isn't really touristy. The last, couple of places I've been, those trips I took, was basically going into like tourist land. Amsterdam, Barcelona. I mean, the amount of tourists in those two cities are crazy. Now, I did go part in Germany, and that was, those little things, they were not touristy at all, which was nice. But yeah, the Amsterdam, Barcelona, it's just, your people and all this stuff. Where I'm going is there won't be a lot of tourists, so they'll be nice. But I'm going to have to brush up on my Spanish. Hola, me llamo Janine. I'm the Cannabis Estrella. Oh, no, that's a star. No, that's the fairy. No, that's a star. I have to figure out what fairy is in Spanish. And it should be interesting. I was looking. Oh, gee, my bestie's trying to call me right now, but we'll try her later. But I found lots of advertisements for different CBDs. Different sites down there. So it looks like CBD is available over the counter, no problem. I'm going to have to ask the Cannabis Club about, like, are there paraphernalia shops and stuff like that down there? Where do the cannabis people meet? Are there places for cannabis people to meet? I mean, I've always met cannabis people my whole life. Every damn trip I've ever taken in my life. So I'm sure I'll meet cannabis people. I'm sure Amy's gonna introduce me to some of her friends, and I would assume they smoke cannabis. So, but again, Amy, when we were talking this week, Amy again said, I'm gonna be shocked by the quality. I'm not going to be happy, which is crazy. You've got, tons of sun. I guess they don't have the water there. You certainly shouldn't have problems with, mold, powdery mildew, shit like that. Know what I mean? It's like, when I was young, I got cannabis from Mexico. That was one of the few places we got cannabis from. How can it be shit there? Oh my God, what the hell's going on? We need to remedy this. I also have another friend that has a beach house a little west of where I'm staying on the beach, and she invited me for New Year's. And if they're down for New Year's, which hopefully they will be, so that'll be really good. I got something to do on New Year's. And again, she too was mentioning how crappy, how crappy stuff can be. And I was asking, is her source not too bad? Maybe I need to Maybe I need to meet up with her source. So, you know me. I'm not going to stand for, inferior quality cannabis. We will have to, remedy this. We'll have to find the good cannabis farmer in the area. That's just what I'm gonna have to do. I was gonna go to Uncle Tony's house tonight and hang with him, but I went to the apothecary this afternoon, which is, if you know the city of Toronto, the apothecary was at Dufferin and Bloor. And where I live, not exorbitant. Should have been home in about 45 minutes. But the subway went insane. So something happened on the tracks. And so there were no subway from St. George to Woodbine. And apparently it was already screwed up earlier from Keele to St. George. And then apparently there was something going on at Bloor and Young, so they closed Bloor and Young. So people in Toronto had a very tough time if they used the TTC today getting home. It took me 2 hours. No. It took the subway and 3 streetcars to make it home. So it was like, sorry, Uncle Tony, I'm not coming out tonight. I think I'm stuck at home with a couple of joints, maybe a glass of wine too. Maybe even a little glass of wine. So I'm gonna have to, I guess, put on my tequila wearing hat soon. We'll see how much vino I can get down there. I'm sure it's there. But probably, the price difference. We'll have to see. I'll have to see. I'll have to see about these things. It's surprising. Certain things they say, oh, you should bring this or that because it's expensive down there. But then it's like, well, maybe it's expensive to an American, but maybe, it's more reasonable for a Canadian. We'll have to see. We shall have to see, right? But it will be interesting. I'll certainly get some sunshine. It is really not supposed to rain like at all while I'm there, really. Just little smidgens here and there. So that'll be good. And I'm planning on, just having a grand old time. And of course, ending the trip with the Grateful Dead crazy shenanigans in Cancun. That will really. I'm sure I'm going to have lots of fun. I want to bring lots of good treats, lots of good Canadian treats down for to have fun with the deadheads. Maybe I'll become a deadhead. I don't know. I mean, I'm a little bit, but I don't think I'm really quite a deadhead. But my Cara, she's insanely excited. I'm gonna have a couple days Cancun before, so it should be lots and lots of fun. It's gonna be, I guess, an experience traveling in this time. But at least it can be outside. Sitting outside on a patio, having a drink, sitting outside having dinner. My friend has a pool, but she says it's too cold for her. I said, well, I'm a pretty wussy Canadian. I mean, I don't like Ontario at all, even on, the day it's the warmest. So, so we'll see. But then, compared to what the crap has happened today outside, which, there was that shit in the sky that like floats down and isn't rain. So, you know, at least we won't have any of that there. So, since we've had that white stuff, maybe I'll find Amy's pool really nice and warm. We'll have to see. Otherwise, I've heard that there's like hotels where I can go and um, get like a day pass and use the pool and the facilities and stuff like that. So I might actually do that because there's supposed to be some really, really very, very beautiful, um, like old, um, buildings that they've repurposed into hotels, and they're supposed to have, beautiful grounds and antiques and stuff like that. So that could be a way to, spend an afternoon here or there. There's always the beach, always the beach. Yeah. Um, again, it should be perfect for me. Probably for them, it's like, oh, it's not that warm. Ooh, yeah. But for me, the ocean will be really, really, really nice. Cannabis traveling. Oh, cannabis traveling is as a cannabis person, you you have to decide um, whether you're not gonna have the cannabis or whether you are gonna have the cannabis when you're on your vacation. And a lot of times, it depends on the government of where you're going. Um, didn't smoke any joints in Russia or Ukraine when I was there years ago. They're still communist. Did not want to, see Russian police, or jails or anything. Crossing the border was um, one of the scariest, things of my life. It was a scary border crossing, I will tell you. In the middle of nowhere on a train, you get out, you go into a little hut, and they're asking you all these questions. And at the time, I actually worked for a bank. I was working for TD at the time. And so um, the travel agent that we took said when we were preparing the visa, said if I put that I worked at a bank, that there was no way they would grant me a visa. So I had to lie on my visa and say I was a university student. So I sort of that hanging over my head. Oh my gosh. I've lied on the visa. So, and I will say on that trip, I was offered cannabis. That once, I would talk about cannabis. Once people found out I used cannabis, they were like, oh, I could get you cannabis. But again, it was like, do I really want to do cannabis at a place where you can go to jail for a long time? And it's not like a jail like here. Not like where you got, TV and university courses and conjugal visits. Not that kind of jail back then. So, I behaved myself. I was younger. Um, so it was easier to go without. But I will say, I drank and smoked like a fiend on that trip. Every single night, we drank like unbelievable. So one of the guys on the trip, He had brought 5 huge hockey duffel bags with him, all filled with contraband, wedding dresses, jeans, Bibles, all sorts of stuff you weren't supposed to bring in. He bribed the guards. He brought all this stuff in and then brought this stuff to his family. Every time he dropped stuff off at his family, they would give him vodka and champagne and all this stuff. Every night, Bob's room, we had a fucking party every single night. It was crazy. My mother had the best fucking trip of her entire life. It was a hell of a good trip. Me and my mother had a lot of fun that trip, I will say. But so I have, someone's just saying that they haven't stopped since they became a cannabis patient. I started in 1977, so 40 years before this person started. So I have missed a few days here and there. But the last day I didn't smoke a joint was in 2013, in November 2013. So I'm just filled with cannabis. I'm made of cannabis. And the people down there in Yucatan are going to find out soon. Anyways, kids, I had so much fun chatting with you today. Tomorrow I'm having my big call with the Germans, and it's Jeremiah's birthday, so it should be like German day for me tomorrow in the afternoon. So I should know a lot more about what's going on. Other thing is, I have to start bothering my friend. I tried contacting Benjamin. He was supposed to have his court date on Monday, and he read my message, but he hasn't said anything. So Canna Mom's worried now. Ugh, these children, you know, they answer when you talk to them. I want to tell everyone to have a hell of a good weekend, hell of a good week. Smoke your cannabis, do your dabs, eat your edibles, and be freaking happy. And I don't know if you got one of those, go out, run out and buy one of those happy lights. Try and get the next few months. Love everyone. Hugs and kisses. Have a good one, a good Friday night. And we'll see you next week, kids. Have a good one. Bye.